If you can lose if all those things can be taken away, are they really yours?
No.
Okay. So that's a whole different conversation we're having now, because you're not losing anything if it's not yours in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's different.
No, it's not different.
It is.
So it's all a show.
It's not his. The jersey he wears and the name he wears on the jersey is not his. But
let me ask you
he's
something.
still LeBron James.
But if LeBron said anything like what Kanye's saying, do you think they would do the same thing to him? I think they would.
I think they would.
So that money's not his. Your money's not yours. All that is a facade. It's controlled. Think about that. If you by saying a sentence can lose all your money, all your possessions, your family,
bank accounts. I heard Andrew Tate got like $10 million taken from him.
I believe it.
Like I was hearing on the podcast.
I believe it. That's the world we live in. All these things, these physical material possessions, they're not ours. It's all facade. It's all for show. And we live in this society where you're geared to live in this material world, and consumerism is killing us alive. Oh, I got this. Oh, my chain and my Gucci belt, and I spent $2,000. Bro, how many people in Miami spend $5,000 on their outfit and don't have 2 cents in their pocket?
I know.
How many people live in inefficiency? By the way, if you don't live in Miami, efficiency is when they cut off a part of the house and they divide it and they turn that room into like a makeshift apartment.
With a side door?
Right, with a side door and your own entrance. So, how many people live in inefficiency and drive a Corvette?
Yep.
Or drive a Mercedes?
Yep.
Your brand new Gucci glasses on, $800 Adidas, no money.
My first pair of Ferragamos, because of ACN, $525.
I'm telling you.
And I rode them things out for like 5 years. Like $500 for this pair of shoes. Like 19 years old.
And it's all...
But I was brainwashed because they were not special. Those shoes were just Ferragamo, but they were not special.
Right.
But I got them because I had to. Right? Like I said, just the other, like 3 months ago in July here at the DoubleTree, I did a big event with like 700 people, entrepreneurs, leadership event, trading, financial planning, all that stuff. And I will do it anyways. But I felt the pressure. I felt the need to have to go buy a Ted Baker suit. I spent $800 on a Ted Baker suit that honestly didn't look better than my Zara suits. Now, I wouldn't wear Zara to the crowd that I was in because it's a different crowd, but my Zara suits look way better than the Ted Baker suit that I spent $800 for. You know, but I did it because, you know, you got to keep up with the, how do you say, with the how do you say
keeping up with the Joneses, yeah.
Joneses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is what it is, man. It's the world that we live in.
And that's what I'm saying. We're geared, and then we're not even conscious of it. Social media and all these things gear us to idolize certain people. Kim Kardashian and all these people that promote all these brands. And it's I work really hard to make all this money to buy shit that I don't need, to impress people that I don't fucking like, to live a life that I'm not even happy about. And people are doing this so unconsciously that it's to the point where I see the whole thing is so fake. Just how society is set up is so fake to the molecular level. There's nothing real about it. Yep. Nothing. I can't point out one thing that society says is good. I can't. What's astonishing to me is, and you understand what I'm talking about, I only feel comfortable when I'm walking in the opposite direction of everybody else.
Yep.
Because everybody's a zombie. Everybody just follows what everybody else is doing. And, if no one's talking negative about me, I'll be okay as long as so I don't get my feelings hurt. And it's like, no, man, if you're getting your feelings hurt and people talking bad on you, you're probably doing the right thing, because most people, they're losers.
I mean, that's the school we come from.
That is the school we come from. Getting told no a million times before you get a yes, you know?
Yeah. You know, it's one of the lessons that I've learned in my life, with the many lessons. One of them is, because you spend your entire life, especially like, I mean, I went to middle school in Palm Springs Middle in Hialeah. I went to high school in Miami Lakes Tech.
Shout out to Hialeah.
Hialeah all day. La Grande, I did all that, right? Ben Shepherd Elementary, Hialeah High, played ball for them for a year, Hialeah Miami Lakes, Miami Springs, all that. One of the things that happens, and it happens to everybody, it's not a Hialeah thing, but it happens to everybody, is that you're always worried about what other people are thinking about you.
Always.
What are they thinking about me? And every decision you make is kind of like feeding your ego. Like, what is that person thinking about me? What is that person? How is that going to look to that person? Right. How is that going to look to the general public? I got to go to Ted Baker suit so I can look fresh. Like, at the end of the day, nobody cares about you. Like, at the end of the day, nobody goes to sleep thinking about you. Nobody goes to sleep thinking about the shoes that you wore. Nobody goes to sleep thinking about the way you said, what you said, how you stuttered, how you mixed your word. It happens. It's a moment, but nobody, not even your best friend, not even one of my best friends is Oscar. Not even Oscar goes to sleep thinking about Carlos. He has his own kids. He has his own business, his own wife, his own parents. Like, he has his own problems. Yeah, we spend our entire lives worried about what somebody else is thinking, to the point that we got stuck in a warp. And I say from experience, I'm grown enough now to never let that happen to me again. But you got stuck in a warp where you just start making decisions based on that story that you're making in your head. Because at the end of the day, those people don't care about you. They might care about you, but they don't care about you. And it's crazy because it took me 10, 15 years to learn that. And if I would have known that to the way that I know it now, with the passion that I know it now, the conviction that I have about it now, I would have done a lot of things differently 10 years ago. I would have done a lot of business moves when I was making my 40 grand a month at the age of 23, pulling up in the R8. When I was doing those things and I had a mentor at the time that we weren't seeing eye to eye, I probably would have handled things differently to a certain extent, that maybe the exit strategy, because by the way, every business that anybody ever owns, the only reason you start a company is to sell it. There's no such thing as I'm going to have this company forever. Not even Elon Musk.
Right.
You do SpaceX to eventually sell it. So I was so naive when I was making my millions, where I thought I was going to be the next senior vice president. I was going to be there till the end of time and generational wealth. And you go, well, BS, bro. You have to have an exit strategy, right? I say that to say this, it's down topic. If I would have known what I know now about nobody cares about what you are, who you are, how you go about it, I would have done things differently, where maybe today I'll be way better off financially, business-wise, if I would have had that mindset.
Right.
Unfortunately, nobody taught me. I had no mentors that taught me those things.
You know what that's called? Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Wisdom only comes with experience, brother.
Experience. Yeah. And through failures.
And through taking big L's, which both of you, well, both of us have taken huge, massive L's, the size of this building. Yeah. However, if it wasn't for the amount of pain that you went through.
How big is this building?
It's like 17 or 18 stories.
Pretty big. Big ass building.
Yeah. So I wouldn't take back the L's for anything, because at the end of the day, those losses, those massive losses that really hurt, are the reason you and I are as wise as we are. Yeah. And you can't have the good without the bad, bro.
No, 100%, bro. It's so cliche, right? Like, oh, yeah, your experience. Bro, is everything. I did this business, the one that I was telling you about, all of 2022. I dedicated myself to a company, right? And I was like pretty much the VP. All right, should I go closer?
Yeah.
I was pretty much the VP of the company, especially the Latin community, because I have a story to tell. Cubano, Parcero, the American dream, right? So I was on the verge of like literally like breaking barriers that nobody has broken. The only people that had broken it, I can name them in one hand, and you probably know their names, like an Alex Morton, those kind of people, right? And I was on the verge, literally, like no exaggeration. I was on the verge to breaking those barriers, right? Anyways, the point of what I'm trying to say is when I got involved with the group of people that I was working with, we went from maybe 50 to 3,000 in a matter of 4 months. Now, I say all that to say this is still on topic, right? My experience showed so heavy in that growth, where I didn't even believe, like I didn't believe that it was there. Like I knew what I had, but I was tucking it away, right? But it had to come out, because once you're in action, you're in it. Once the lights are on, the game's on, right? And bro, my experience, my 14 years of experience, all the failures, all the bullshit, all the meetings with the fucking asshole, with the rich guy, the guy that overlooked you, the guy that doubted you, like all those people that crossed you, all of that. The Miami blood, because we're also from Miami. I've dealt with some rats. Like ratones, like rats in Miami. I could throw names out if I want to. Man, I've dealt with some rats, some people that are like, yo, you're fake. Like, your wife doesn't know that's who you are. Like, your wife thinks you're one thing that you're not. She thinks that you're where you're on IG, but in real life, that's not who you are. And you're a rat. And then that person crossed me. That will never happen to me again. Well, anyways, that experience in this business, 3,000 people later showed, bro. It shows so heavy, where today I know how valuable I am. No matter what, because the experience was there. And it's an experience that you know, and not to be cocky or nothing, but we're talking right as if there's no cameras here. Our first business venture, we put in 30,000 agents, distributors, right? How many hit regional vice president in South Florida?
4.
And I was one of them. So there was 4 out of 30,000. That counts for something.
For sure.
So I tucked that away for so many years, and this year, 2022, reminded me, like, damn, Carlos, like, your experience is valuable, because you're seeing shit that this person cannot see until they're 10 years in. Granted, today's a different world. Social media, like the world is totally different than what, but the
all the more reason though they can't go through the experiences you had.
Correct.
They don't exist anymore.
Correct. It's more fake today. See, like what I had to go through was belly to belly. What I had to go through was like in your face.
Yep.
Pulling up to a house, the lights are on. You knock on the door, the lights go off. That kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. Like now it's like a different world, right? Nevertheless, and I'm not being cocky. I'm just it's a good lesson. Bro, I was doing calls, man, and I'm here on Zooms, and I'm like, wow. Like, I could see what they cannot see. And as much as I try to tell them this is what it is,
they'll never
bro,
get it.
they just can't.
You have
they
to
don't
go through
have
those
the
10 years.
2008, 2009, 2010, 2011.
Yep.
Shout out James Adlam, Aaron Burt. Like, they don't have that school. George Zalicki, like, they don't have that stuff. So it just goes back to, like, bro, experience is everything. You said wisdom, experience is everything, bro. And I feel like at this point in my life, I think you have it too. And I think in 2024, after 2023, and you actually do what you got to do in the next 12 months, 2024, you're going to be at that next level. Because now you're going to have an experience like you already have it. But if you keep on the track that you're going, bro, your experience is going to be next level.
I have a plan in place, bro, and I already feel it. You know, so I feel something similar because, you know, we've read tons of books, right? We've read tons of books. We've been to millions of seminars. We've had a bunch of different mentors. I wrote a book. I'm an author. Like, for me to write a book and actually have the wisdom and the knowledge of my life, of what I've been through in these pages, I'm on a different level, mentally and spiritually, 110%. Because this showed me, I had an idea of where I was at from an evolution level, like how far I've come. Until I finished this book, and I had it in my hands, I didn't realize how far I'd come. Because the only people, I mean, me personally, I can't think of a successful person that I look up to that hasn't written a book. I mean, name them. You know, I'm a big fan of Patrick Bet-David. He's written 3 books. Darren Hardy. I mean, you name it. Any successful rapper.
Even your favorite athlete.
Yeah.
Eventually they have a book that they...
You know, Kobe, I love the Mamba mentality, right? So it's crazy that now I'm an author. I'm in that category. And that has taken my life from here, like my perspective of myself, because I was always a humble guy and I didn't really say. Now, forget all that, bro. I know who I am. I'm confident. You want to call me cocky? That's fine. I know who I am and I know what I'm capable of, and I see the plan I'm drawing out for the next 24 months, and I can tell you right now, I know where I want to be, and I know I'm capable of doing it. Sometimes humility is important when you're trying to learn. When you have a mentor and you're trying to receive information, humility is important. However, humility, if people's idea of humility is just staying quiet and being modest, there's nothing wrong with that. However, there's nothing wrong with, I know who I am. I'm going to be a millionaire in the next 3 years. I'm going to own this. I'm going to live here. And saying these things out loud and believing them and know it because you know you can do them, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
So knowing that you have that power, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that I have the power that I have, because we have some type of power, right? What's the meaning of life? Because some people will hear, I'm going to be a millionaire in 3 years. I'm going to own this. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, but money's not everything. Some people will say that, right? And they're right. Money is not everything. You just said money's, even LeBron James doesn't own what he owns,
Correct.
right? So anyways, what is the meaning of life?
To grow.
What is the real meaning of life?
Evolution, brother.
In what sense?
To grow as a person, man. To get better. So you go through these things not to accomplish them. You go through these things because on the other side of these things, there's going to be a different person. You're going to evolve. You're going to be a different species. You're going to go from being the little...
But what is the point? All that growth is for what? At the end of the day, you just disappear. And boom, you're gone.
No, you don't disappear. You evolve. Even when you die, you evolve again. You become a different being.
Yeah, but are you just impacting your immediate family, or are you impacting the world? Is it even important to impact the world?
You're impacting the universe, bro.
There's people like Gandhi that impacted the world forever. But then there's people like even my grandfather, when he does pass away, he's still alive, 92 years old, amazing. He impacted his immediate family. He didn't impact the world.
No, bro.
He impacted
You're wrong.
his family.
You're wrong.
Maybe somebody comes out of that impacts the world.
He brought you here. How many people have you impacted in the last 10 years? Your grandfather's the reason you're here, brother. You're looking at it from the wrong perspective.
That's why I'm asking. I'm unpacking it. I'm not looking at it. I'm unpacking it.
Yeah.
So then just grow. But where does that take you?
That takes you to putting a dent in the universe, my brother. It's not about you and me. We're all connected, man. This whole thing, whatever you want to call it, I don't know if we're living in a simulation. I don't know if this is real life. Whatever you want to call it. All of this is connected. All of it. It's all energy. And when you put out that vibration and you evolve, the more connected you are, the more people are affected by you in a positive way, the more the universe reacts to you. And when you become, instead of becoming a victim of the world around you, you become a master of it. You're talking levels, brother. You're talking Morpheus. We're having a conversation already where people can you and I can have that conversation. When reality is at your disposal, that's a whole nother topic. Because some people will look at us right now talking about being a master of reality, and they're going to be like, what is this guy smoking? I have no, oh my God. I'm going to turn off this podcast. Turn it off. I don't want you to watch this. Turn it off. A master of reality, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Like when you reach that pinnacle, when you've evolved so much to where you can control what happens around you at a given moment. Oh, you know what? All right. I'm gonna create a business. Oh, I'm gonna do a new social media platform. I'm gonna compete with Facebook. Oh, wait, Elon Musk bought Twitter. Oh, when you become like that, that's the meaning of life.